the story of Codex Gigas. A long time ago, around the 13th century, in a quiet and mysterious region of Europe, there was a small monastery in Bohemia. This place is considered part of today's Czech Republic. The monastery was surrounded by forests and mountains. The monks living here spent their entire lives in prayer, study, and service to God. They had very little contact with the outside world. But in this very peaceful place, an event occurred that gave birth to one of the most mysterious books in history, Codex Gigas, which people today know as the Devil's Bible, a mistake that changed everything. In this monastery lived a monk named Herman, the recluse. He was an educated man, but people said he had a somewhat strange personality. He often stayed alone, read books for hours, and even stayed awake at night writing. One day, he was accused of breaking the rules of the monastery. History does not clearly say what he actually did. Some people believe that he broke sacred rules. Perhaps he hid some secret knowledge, or maybe he tampered with the holy book. But whatever happened, it was so serious that the leaders of the monastery gave him a terrible punishment. The punishment was he would be walled up alive inside the monastery wall. When Herman learned about his punishment, he became terrified. He asked the leaders of the monastery for one last chance. He said, "If you give me one night, I will write a book that contains the knowledge of the entire world." He promised that the book would include the entire Bible, history, medicine, prayers, and a treasure of human knowledge. The monks thought this was impossible. How could one man write such a huge book in a single night? But out of curiosity, they gave him the chance. A night that became history. The night began. Herman was locked inside a room. In front of him were blank pages, ink, and a lamp. He started writing. Hours passed, but as the night went on, he began to realize that his promise was impossible. Writing such a massive book was impossible for a human. Slowly, fear started growing in his mind. He knew that when morning came, his death was certain. After midnight, Herman made a dangerous decision. According to the story, he stopped praying and did something that no monk should ever do. He called upon the devil. A strange silence filled the room. It is said that suddenly the flame of the lamp began to flicker and a cold wind started moving through the room. Then a voice came out of the darkness. The devil was standing before him. The devil asked Herman, "Why have you called me?" Herman replied, "I must create a book by morning that contains all the knowledge of the world. If you help me, I will give you my soul." It was a terrible bargain, but the devil smiled. According to the story, that very night, the devil helped Herman complete the enormous book. When the monks entered the room in the morning, they were shocked. In front of them lay a gigantic book, so large that they had never seen anything like it before. Inside the book, on a full page, there was a massive illustration of the devil. Because of this, the book was later given the name Devil's Bible. In reality, Codex Gigas is considered the largest medieval manuscript in the world. Some astonishing facts about it. Length, about 92 centimeters. Width, about 50 centimeters. Weight, about 75 kilograms. According to historians, the skins of nearly 160 animals were used to create it. The book contains the entire Bible, ancient medical knowledge, rules about sin and repentance, spells for driving away evil spirits. For many years, this book remained in the same monastery. But in 1648, a major event occurred. During the war taking place in Europe, the army of Sweden took the book with them. Since then, the book has been kept in Sweden. Today, it is preserved safely in the Swedish National Library. Now the question arises, did the devil really help write this book? According to historians, the book was probably written by a single person, but it may have taken 20 to 30 years to complete. The handwriting is consistent throughout the book, which suggests it was written by only one author. This means the devil's story might only be a legend. But even today, some questions remain a mystery. Even after so many years, some things still surprise people. How did a single person write such a huge book? Why was such a massive image of the devil created? And did something supernatural really happen that night? Perhaps we may never know the answer. But Codex Gigas is still considered one of the most mysterious books in history. Some books do not just contain knowledge, they also hide the deepest mysteries of history within them. And the Devil's Bible might be one of them.